coming.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Dev here, and welcome back to the SKOL Patrol. So no big deal, guys. Today I'm only going to tell you the story of how I met 3 NFL legends, 2 of which being Hall of Famers. As you guys have probably seen on the channel, I went to my very first NFL game. It was Bears versus Vikings, and before the game, we were getting ready to stand in the security line, and my mom was like, well, hey, Grandpa just went to go use the bathroom. Should we go check out the festivities and see what's going on? And I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right. Let's enjoy the moment, let's be present, and let's get all this stuff documented. Here's a little bit of that here.
Just give me a sign. Take up some action if you want to. It's the future for the dreams of you.
So we're walking around. We come into this kind of square right in front of the stadium. We look to our left and there's a band playing. So we stand and we watch them for a little bit. And then we walk around to the booths and we check that out a little bit. And we stop to wait for our grandpa so we can meet back up with him. And my mom goes, hey, Dee, I think that's somebody famous over there. She saw like a little line set up and then there was 3 guys standing underneath a tent. And I look over and immediately I didn't recognize anybody. But there was this guy standing with his back to me, kind of a big guy. And he had a Vikings jacket on and a Vikings hat with sunglasses. And I was like, could that be? Because before the game, I was like, man, I hope John Randle's there. John Randle or Chris Carter, I hope I can get a peek at those guys in the flesh. That'd be really cool. And they're at games all the time. I bet they'll be there tonight. And then this guy, standing with his back to me, turns to his side, and I see the side profile, and I immediately kind of freak out a little bit, silently. But I turned to my mom, and I said, oh my God, I think that's John Randle. And I was right. It was. So immediately, we stood in line. Because this was something that I could not miss out on. He's been an absolute hero to me growing up. I was a big John Randle guy, me being a defensive lineman as well, growing up playing football, and him being a legendary Vikings player in the Hall of Fame. I could not miss this opportunity to meet a legend. So we stand in this line, guys. We're getting ready to go. And then my grandpa finally meets back up with us. And my mom goes, hey, do you recognize any of these guys? Because I only recognized John Randle, to be honest, right away. The other guy, who turned out to be Pat Williams, I recognized him a little bit, but I couldn't put a name to the face. And my grandpa goes, yeah, that's Mike Singletary. And I was like, oh my gosh, really? Like, I'd heard the name. Growing up as a Vikings fan, not really a guy that I'd looked into too much, but that name obviously is a legendary name. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to meet 3 NFL legends. Like 3 guys who are, I mean, there's no other word for it. They are absolute legends. So the heart started beating kind of heavy. The breathing got kind of weird. And I started to get pretty nervous, guys. I'm not going to lie. As that line grew shorter and shorter, and it was almost time for us to meet these guys, my thoughts became more confused. I had no idea what I was going to say to these guys, especially John Randle, who was like literally one of my heroes. So we get there. It's our turn. My grandfather and I nervously walk up to these guys, these huge, athletic-looking dudes, who were very cool, by the way. We were just kind of tripping a little bit. But by the time we got to the front, guys, this kind of like thankful, I don't know, just overwhelming feeling came over to me. Mike Singletary was the first guy I walked up to. I shook his hand. I said, you're a legend. It's an honor to meet you, sir. Moved over to Pat Williams, shook his hand. I said, thank you for doing this. It's an honor to meet you, sir. And then it was time for me to meet John Randle. I don't know why, but immediately I just dapped him up and gave him a little hug. And I told him that he's a legend and that I'm a huge fan. And it's an honor to meet him. He said thank you. I got into my place and we took a couple pictures. After the pictures were done, I walked up to Singletary and I asked him if he wouldn't mind signing a Vikings hat, and he agreed. And I said, thank you for doing this. It's an honor. Moved over to Pat Williams, got his signature as well. I said, thank you for doing this. It's an honor. And then by the time I got back to John Randle, I just told him once again, I'm a huge fan. I actually just made a video about you 2 months ago. And I told him the title, and I said, if you're not too busy, check it out. It's got the most views on my channel so far at over 1,000 views. And he said, my man, gave me a pound. And then he asked me what my name was again. And I told him, and I just said, thank you for everything, and walked away. It was kind of like, I don't know, it was kind of a whirlwind. I was kind of nervous, but I think it went really well, and I think it made a good impression. Again, I was not expecting this to happen. I was kind of thrown into the thick of it, but I think it went really good. They were so cool. They're really nice. They were chatting to my grandpa, talking to him up as well. He was a huge fan of Mike Singletary, so it was an honor for him to meet him. John Randle as well. We weren't too familiar with Pat Williams, but now that I'm looking back over his resume, honor to meet that dude. What a dog. I think the only reason is because I was a little bit young back then to truly appreciate him. And this whole experience, guys, was really cool. It was kind of strange. Like, it almost didn't even feel real. I felt like I kind of like spoken into existence, because literally before the game, I was like, man, I hope John Randle's there and I can just see him. I hope Chris Carter's there and I can just see him. Chris Carter was also there, guys. He gave a speech down on the field. I think it was halftime. And he was there. And I got to see him in the flesh. So it's kind of crazy that both of those things happened. And I got to meet these guys. Seriously, I got to meet these guys. Two of these guys are NFL Hall of Famers. My very first NFL game. And I just happened to be put right in front of them with an opportunity to meet them. So I had to film the whole thing and put it up here for you guys and tell the story. Life is crazy sometimes. I got to meet these absolute legends and then go into, a stadium that I've been wanting to see for a really long time. Like I said, that travel vlog will be up soon. Keep an eye out for that. And if you guys want to see any clips from the game, check out our shorts section. I put a lot of clips from the game, a couple Vikings touchdowns, stuff like that. You can check out the footage just over on our shorts section. So there's the story, guys. I met Pat Williams, Mike Singletary, and John Randle. It was an honor, absolute honor. Got to do it with my grandfather, who was a huge Vikings fan his whole life. That's a memory that I'll always remember every day, and it's an honor. I get kind of emotional even talking about it, but that's something that I'll never forget. Really cool experience, and just something that I'll never forget, something that I'll always be thankful for. So that's all I've got for you today, guys. Just a quick little story time. I'll throw the footage here at the end so you guys can see the thing in full. Just crazy. That's it for today, guys. I've been Dev. This has been the SKOL Patrol. What is up from Minnesota? And it looks like we'll just have to see in the next one, guys. Peace!
I'm not going in the picture. I'm just gonna video and.
I'm not going to